To pull or not to pull? That is the question. And it's a question I've been asking myself for the past few days. To be honest, not so much for Zhongli, but because Collei is in here. She's been quite a bit of fun to play around with, and even if I know we're rumored to get a constellation for her for free on the 3.1 Abyss, I would still like to get her up to C2 minimum. I've been saving rolls for a while and I'm almost back up to 400. The main characters I would want to spend these on though are Kusanali and maybe Deia. On top of that, I still need more refinements for a few weapons, but I've never touched the weapons banner and I likely never will. For the banner itself, I would rather pull on Zhongli's than Tignari's. The Dendro Archer looks like a pretty decent unit and the triple charge shot quick swap gameplay looks fun enough, but it's been confirmed to become a standard banner unit in 3.1 and I'm in no hurry to get myself a Dendro DPS. I wouldn't even have the gear to put on him anyway. For the standard banner, I've started saving up fates recently and I think I will wait to have something like 300 of them before blowing them all in one go. That should be fun. Plus, if I fail a 50-50 on Kusanali or Deia and get a free new unit, I'm not going to complain, and if it's not Tignari, I'm still not going to lose sleep over it. On the other hand, Zhongli is going to take close to another year to come back. He's the only Archon I'm missing since I got Venti kind of by mistake and Raiden was a must pull for Sawashiro's voice alone. Now I'm about to grab myself a little green fairy as well. Rumors have it that going forward all the other Archons are going to be women, and if that's the case, my Primo Gems might already be done for the whole collection. I know speaking of collections as a free-to-play or low-spending player might sound a bit dumb since you can't really keep up with all the new releases, but while filling up the Pokédex is going to be kind of impossible, collecting all the 4 stars as well as collecting all the Archons are both pretty feasible. Which leads us to today's question: to pull or not to pull? I thought I was done with the rerun banners after Yoimiya, but apparently not. Still, going for Zhongli could potentially be a 180 rolls journey, so I need to be a bit careful about this. Let's weigh down the pros and cons. First, he's a dude. That's a pretty big con and the main reason why I never pulled for him. But a chunky shield can be pretty damn useful, especially for Hu Tao and Yoimiya. Second, he's a Geo character and Crystallize isn't exactly an exciting reaction. But being a Geo character, he doesn't react with Dendro, leaving the aura on the enemies ready to be used by the rest of the team. On top of that, the shield also carries a 20% all element and physical defense down. It's not as good as a Viridescent Veneerer, but you can pair it with a Middle-Elite set for a free 20% attack up as well, set that I already have sitting in my inventory. When it comes to teams and usage, Ganyu in Melt could be a thing, even if I'm not a fan of using charge shots at such a close range. Plus, I've never gotten a good enough Wanderer's Troop set for that. Eula is fine in the team she's in, the Raiden National is also fine the way it is, and so is the Taser team with Yae. And then we come to Hu Tao. I've been trying to run her with Thoma since he's C6, and between his buff and the defense down and extra elemental mastery from Sucrose, they've been mostly fine clearing stuff. Still, it's a bit complicated timing wise and there are cases in which Thoma and Sucrose just steal the vaporizes off of Hu Tao. That shouldn't happen with Zhongli, and I could also run Yelan and Xinqiu in the team and give Hu Tao another 25% HP boost thanks to the new Hydro Resonance. For Yoimiya, a heavy buff comp has been working okay so far, but I kind of want to be able to run her with Yunjin as well, freeing Kazuha for another team in Abyss. Mostly, this would allow her to stop caring about having to reposition and prevent all the dodges that would interrupt her attack chain. Then again, we have Dendro. Zhongli's shield should be able to lower the Dendro resistance on top of the new artifact set, while also having no interactions with the element, making Bloom or Aggravate focused teams work a bit better. The last option would be a full Geo team, but the only driver for that would be Noelle, since I will never roll for Itto. Some challenge events sometimes have a stage that wants you to run it, but they also offer some free units, even if they're really bad. Last time, my Noelle could out DPS the free Itto, which was kind of funny. So I could definitely use him. but can I afford him? This is my recent pool history. We're close to the second half of 3.0 and I was expecting to hit Doris banner with 384 rolls. Thankfully, I'm up to 390, really exceeding expectations there. This list has got to be updated though, as we're going down to a 5 weeks duration for the next few patches instead of 6. It may or may not impact the usual Primogems income, but just in case, I want to lower my expectations a bit. If they only cut the banner's duration, we might be going down from 33 to 27 rolls per banner, at least until 3.4, where we should go back to the normal 6 weeks schedule. With a clean slate, I can expect around 420 rolls when Nilou comes out, around 500 for Kusanali, and over 600 by the time Deia gets released. The big question remains for 3.3, which has no rumored releases and could potentially be a full rerun patch. And then of course we have the 3.7 and 3.8 that could bring some new surprises. Kind of like Eula was, kind of like Yelan was. I would love to have a guaranteed 5 stars saved up for this, as well as have more guaranteed picks for Fontaine. So far, Kusanali is my next must pick. Deia is on the maybe because she's another Pyroclaimer and we know nothing about her kit, but let's face it, I will likely cave and throw my Primogems at her. Next is Fontaine. I will definitely want enough for the Archon, and suppose something else interesting comes out, this will leave me with around 300 rolls for 4.3 onwards, which aren't actually that many. Still, I think I'll be fine. I could have up to 6 guaranteed worst case scenario picks from here to Fontaine, but I've never seen a worst case scenario myself. Usually it takes between 60 and 70 pulls for a 5 star, and I'm at 5 50-50 lost and 7 won. Even if I end up averaging things out, that should be more than enough for 4 more picks in Sumeru and 4 to 5 more in Fontaine. Another thing to consider would be Nilou, cause if I'm picking Zhongli up, I'm not going to be able to roll for the red-headed dancer. Nilou's E transforms her normal attacks into AoE hydro damage P-Rats, while her burst deals 2 instances of hydro damage, both scaling off of her max HP. The cool part about her kit is the buff she gives to other teammates if the whole team is composed exclusively of Dendro and Hydro characters, making them create a new type of Dendro core for their reactions. These bountiful cores explode faster and have a larger AoE than normal ones, on top of getting their damage boosted by Nilou's HP above the 30k mark. Since her team has to be exclusively Hydro and Dendro, it looks a bit restrictive, but MC's burst has been pretty decent and we have Kusanali on the way. She might be interesting, but Bloom is the only reaction she has access to, you can't run Anemo with her, and her cooldown of 18 seconds looks a bit long. I think I can skip her and maybe pick her up on a rerun if we get more tools that synergize with her. Next we have Cyno, but he's a DPS dude, so that's an easy skip for me. It's cool that he gets bonus damage based on his elemental mastery, but he looks like a mix of Zhao and Razor. The main reason why I would want to throw a few rolls on his banner is because Candace is there. She looks kind of amazing and comes in with Yunjin's E, blocking attacks with her shield and countering, while her burst brings a boost to normal attack damage and hydro damage AoE on swapping characters, as well as a hydro infusion for 9 seconds on a 15 seconds cooldown, going up to 12 seconds with her C1. Why does this 4 star look more interesting than the 5 stars? It all scales off of max HP as well, and her second passive gives a further boost to normal attack damage for every 1k HP she has. Her damage boost doesn't even have a stack limit like Yunjin or Shenhe. Man, I really want Candace now. Too bad she's a 4 star, and rolling for 4 stars is always a bit of a double-edged sword, since you might get a 5 star you don't want. Still, I hope she comes back around soon in a banner I'm interested in, cause her kit looks kind of amazing. If she was a 5 star, she might have been another must pick. Alright then, it looks like I'll be more than safe for the next year worth of rolls, so let's get rolling.
間で波紋広げて揺らす才の河原光が差して迎えに来る時まで指が震えて上手に詰めないのならこの手が覚めて何度だって救うよ
Well, that didn't go so good. It ended up being 150 rolls, but still, I will take the C1 Keqing, and even if you get a new surprise later in Sumeru, everything's going to be fine. That's also going to be it for me for the moment. Time to level him up and try him out in Abyss. As always, thanks a lot for watching, and see you soon. Ciao!
Yeah!